There was an article in CNBC about the Epstein files that a sheikh, a sultan, a sheikh or a sultan, I don't want to make a mistake, has been forced to resign because of his connections to the Epstein files, or more specifically, Jeffrey Epstein himself. What is absolutely mind-blowing in this is what the article doesn't say. And it's CNBC, but I feel so crazy. I almost think that this is like a knockoff of CNBC, but it's not, because it's got that guy there. What's his name? This guy right here, Kramer. It's got Jim Kramer. So this is CNBC reporting on the breaking news of the day. Dubai's DP World replaces CEO after Epstein links emerge. I'm not even going to spoil the punchline if you don't know what the punchline is, but I suspect you will. Key points. Dubai's DP World announced Essa Kazim was the new chairman of its board of directors, and Yuvraj Narayan was the new group chief executive officer, replacing Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem. Sulayem had been CEO of Dubai's largest port operator since 2016 and chairman since 2007. A port operator. I wonder what types of things you could have access to by being a CEO of a largest port operator. Just let that float around in your head for a bit. DOJ records showed years of exchanges with Epstein, but Sulayem has not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing. Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem of Dubai speaks at news conference in November 10, 2005. So do you notice a bunch of things here that you have to pay attention to? And as I read this in real time, they come to mind. They're using a 21-year-old photo of the guy. Why would they do that? Well, there's only one reason, and only one reasonable reason. So they use a flattering younger picture of the guy. I don't know what he looks like now. We'll be curious to know. They use a 21-year-old picture in an article from 2026 about him resigning because of his ties to Epstein. But now let's just get to the story, or at least what's missing from the story. CEO of Dubai's largest port has been replaced by the company after details of his past relationship with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein were made public. On Friday, DP announced in a statement it appointed other people. Fine. U.S. Department of Justice's latest release of files related to Epstein revealed that the financier once referred to Sulayem as a, quote, close personal friend, end quote, and called him one of his most trusted friends in other files. Sulayem has not been accused of any wrongdoing. Thanks to the second time. Sulayem, pictured in this video, in this picture from 21 years ago, looking young and handsome, has not been accused of anything. He was at the helm of it, yada, yada, yada. I don't actually care about the replacements. Sulayem oversaw the growth of Dubai's Jebel Ali port into a major deep water shipping hub and the expansion of DP World. I mean, the fact that it's DP also, its connotation in Western sex talk is probably purely coincidental. Turned it into an international logistics empire that now oversees ports handling a tenth of the world's container trade. What gets shipped in containers? Whatever. Close personal friendship. This is where it gets interesting. The extent of Sulayem's relationship with Epstein emerged in recent weeks following the release of the files. Records show the Emirati businessman was in contact with Epstein after the financier was convicted of soliciting prostitution from a minor in 2008. Authorities have stressed that a mention in the Epstein file does not indicate evidence of wrongdoing, nor prove that the name was part of a purported client list or blackmail. Yeah, that's right. The mere mention doesn't mean any wrongdoing. He hasn't been criminally charged. Thanks, you said it twice. They're not going to tell you the mention. The most bizarre conspiracy theory mentioned in the documents. Oh, he was mentioned. But don't worry, being mentioned doesn't mean anything. According to the documents, their exchanges included business discussions, with Sulayem often seeking Epstein's advice on meetings, connections, and investments. It also delved into arrangements with masseuses, sexual encounters with women, escort and prostitution services, lewd comments, and jokes, and pornography. It also tapped into that. Yeah, just your regular stuff. Do you know the email at issue that forced the resignation? And it's so amazing that it makes me think that I'm taking crazy pills, because I thought I knew it. And then I said, there's no way they wouldn't mention it in this article. Like, there's no way they would write an entire article and not mention it. So maybe I made the mistake. Maybe when I thought that I had heard that this from Jeffrey Epstein to redacted, when we heard that it was the Sultan himself, maybe I made a mistake. Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video, says Jeffrey Epstein to the man who has now apparently, but not according to the CNBC article, been identified as the recipient of that. And then the man says, I'm in China. I will be in the US second week of May. This is 2009. To Jeffrey Epstein. I'm like, okay, fine. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe it wasn't, maybe it couldn't have been the right person, because there's no way that a major outlet would say there's no evidence of wrongdoing. It's not because he's named in here that there's any criminal. And yeah, some of the other emails, massages, sex, escorts, lewd jokes, and pornography. Oh, CNN. Ugh, I got to agree. Powerful Dubai tycoon replaced after DOJ reveals sexually explicit emails with Epstein. Here, they got the same picture again. A tycoon from the United Arab Emirates, whose intimate friendship with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein was revealed, has been replaced. Sultan bin Sulayem emerged as a powerful force in global trade. Don't care about it. Let me just go here. The messages between Epstein and bin Sulayem reveal an intimate, years-long relationship replete with misogynistic descriptions of women and girls, sexually explicit material, business proposals, and a reference to an alleged torture video that has drawn scrutiny in the US Congress. I don't need to read anything else in the rest of this article. No matter how much you hate these MFers at MSM, you do not hate them enough. Compare the reality of it, as CNN itself begrudgingly had to point out, to that CNBC, not even a puff piece, a protection piece for this man. Why might that be? I can hypothesize a number of reasons, none of which are good, all of which are bad. It's disgusting to the point where I reasonably up to speed. I was like, oh yeah, I thought he was fired over that. Where are you? I loved the torture video. Don't come to any conclusions, people. That could have been any torture video. I'm not even saying that they were engaged in filming their own torture, but they were watching torture videos, apparently, unless that's not, jerky's not code for eating children, and torture's not actual language for torture videos. He meant something else. He meant they were watching Hillary Clinton's debate, and there was a torture video. Where are you, man? I love that torture video. That's what they meant. That is how the MSNBC or CNBC, MSM, covers up for criminals, while simultaneously telling you there's nothing in those files. There's no evidence of criminal activity. And now the man had to resign or was replaced because it's been disclosed that he was the recipient of that. Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video. Don't come to any conclusions, people. Don't jump to conclusions. There's zero evidence of sexual abuse in those documents. Zero evidence. Oh, yeah, sure. The United States Virgin Islands lawsuit that settled for $105 million. Well, that wasn't proven in court, so there's zero evidence. The jerky, that code, that's bullcrap. There's no code going on in there. You're crazy. They're talking about jerky. Oh, the torture video? That's code. They're not talking about torture. Madness. Madness. And you see it, you identify it, and we shall put it on blast. And if you're watching this on another platform right now, make sure to like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Drop a comment in the comment section below. But most importantly, spread the word and understand the truth. It's disgusting. It's ugly, but it's the truth.
The cargo speed, or even the passenger speed, is really selling time. That's what we are selling. We're selling time. People don't want to stay in place. Another interesting thing I think is the construction of this is non-invasive when you come in a city. Because if you build a train, you have to build a bridge on top of it. But this is a simple construction, a tube that everything can go under it or over it. And people wouldn't even notice that a high-speed train is going through. Banks are very concerned about the repercussions, but all of this is psychological in my opinion, because banks, the nature of their business is to safeguard assets.